Good Friday evening, February 28th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The Wenatchee High School girls softball field will get a ribbon-cutting ceremony next month. A Moses Lake teenager is dead from what authorities say is an accidental gunshot wound. A warm, dry weather pattern is in place through next week. All the beautiful weather details coming up in your local forecast. A Wenatchee man is accused of a Molotov cocktail attack on his ex-girlfriend's home, as well as her current boyfriend. Police arrested 48-year-old Eric Von Jackson on Wednesday after they were called to the 1000 block of South Mission Street, where a woman reported Jackson had hurled a mason jar full of accelerant at her boyfriend and another at the trailer where she lived. Sergeant Corey Bernache says Wenatchee police recovered 3 jars that included a burnt shoelace inserted through a hole in the lid, apparently used as a wick. The jars failed to fully detonate. Jackson then allegedly attempted to set fire to an awning on the trailer. No one was hurt in the incident. Jackson remained jailed today in the Chelan County Regional Justice Center, facing possible charges including arson, assault, and attempted murder. Wenatchee School Board Vice President Miranda Skalisky is resigned from her position to move out of the area. Skalisky was in her first term and joined the board in 2023 during the board's first districted election. The Wenatchee School District announced today that it's accepting applications for Skalisky's District 4 position, and interested candidates are asked to apply by March 21st. The board will review applications on March 26th during a special meeting, and selected candidates will be interviewed during a public meeting on April 3rd. The appointed candidate will serve until the November election, at which time a director will be elected to fill Skalisky's unexpired term until November of 2027. Applications can be completed on the Wenatchee School District website. The Wenatchee High School girls softball field will get a ribbon-cutting ceremony next month. The field was built last year and was predicted to be complete in August, but the Wenatchee High School girls didn't play on the field until October due to a series of construction setbacks. The $4.1 million field resolved a Title IX complaint from 2022 that alleged unequal treatment of male and female athletes in the district. The ceremony will take place on March 18th at 3 p.m. It will be followed by both junior varsity and varsity games against Ephrata. The Wenatchee School District is inviting all community members to join the athletes for the ribbon cutting. A helicopter might be spotted flying over Omi Gardens on Monday as Chelan County attempts to clean up damages caused by a windstorm. On February 23rd, an overnight storm uprooted 15 trees throughout Omi Gardens. If weather permits, the county says the public might see helicopter work that will include a 150-foot line and a tree climber. Omi Road will be closed to local traffic only at its intersection with McMullen Road, and on East Omi Gardens Road, drivers should plan for up to 20-minute delays with one-lane flagger-controlled traffic. The county says traffic impacts will be from about 8:30 a.m. to noon, and motorists should find alternate routes during that time. The decorative fountain in the middle of Moses Lake may be spouting water again before the start of summer. City crews removed the fountain last November from the middle of the lake that gives the town its name to begin needed refurbishing. The fountain began showing its age in recent years and had to be reconstructed from scratch, although city officials say the new design will mirror the former one. With labor and materials donated by local businesses, the project is expected to cost about $30,000 from local tourism tax grants. Reinstallation is expected sometime this spring. When we come back, the City of Wenatchee will host a groundbreaking ceremony to kick off Phase 1 construction of the Confluence Parkway project, and the Grant County Sheriff's Office is seeking volunteers to serve on an independent use of force investigation team. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
The city of Wenatchee will host a groundbreaking ceremony to kick off Phase 1 construction of the Confluence Parkway project. The event will be held April 17th from 1:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the intersection of North Wenatchee Avenue and McKittrick Street. Phase 1 of that project will include the installation of 2 new bridges across the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway, further extension of McKittrick Street, and a new roundabout at the intersection of North Miller and Holly Street, plus more. Phase 1 is scheduled to be complete by late 2027. Planning for the second phase includes a second bridge crossing the Wenatchee River. A Moses Lake teenager is dead from what authorities say is an accidental gunshot wound. It happened at a residence in the 500 block of Dale Road about 11:30 p.m. last night. The victim, an 18-year-old male, was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say the deceased youth and a 22-year-old male had been playing with a firearm when the shooting occurred. No criminal charges are expected. The city of East Wenatchee has announced that road construction on Northwest 19th Street and Northwest Cascade Avenue will resume Monday morning. Crews will be constructing retaining walls and relocating utilities along the shoulders of Northwest 19th Street. A single-lane closure is expected to begin the week of March 10th and will likely remain for the duration of the road improvement project, which is expected to be complete by late June. The construction started last August and involves widening the roadways, installing bicycle lanes and sidewalks, and creating a new stormwater facility. The Grant County Sheriff's Office is seeking volunteers to serve on an independent use of force investigation team. State legislation passed in 2019 requires all uses of force by police to be reviewed by an independent group involving community representatives. In Grant County, that group is the Central Basin Investigative Team. Volunteers must understand police use of force laws and policies, have strong oral and written communication skills, and possess the ability to make decisions and resolve conflicts. Anyone interested can email Chief Deputy Gary Mansford. Coming up next, as we reported yesterday, the Chelan County PUD held a press conference where Helion, a Washington-based fusion company, announced interest in acquiring Malaga property to build a fusion power plant. All the details from that press conference coming up in tonight's feature story. Unseasonably warm and sunny weather expected tomorrow with a few more clouds on Sunday. I'll have your full local weather forecast coming up. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Follow the Wenatchee Bighorns right here on the NCWLIFE channel. The Wenatchee Bighorns are back for another season in the TBL, and we've got you covered. Follow the Bighorns on Saturday, March 1st at WB Smith Gym against the Willamette Jaguars. Grant Olson will be courtside with your play-by-play pregame at 6:45. Be sure to tune in for Bighorns basketball on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCWLIFE. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 14. Join your host Mike Mitchell and his special guests as they explore some of the most exciting fisheries BC has to offer. BC Outdoors Sport Fishing TV. Check your listings for airtimes.
As we reported yesterday, the Chelan County PUD held a press conference yesterday where Helion, a Washington-based fusion company, announced interest in acquiring Malaga property to build a fusion power plant. Helion says that if all permits are obtained in an orderly fashion, they hope to break ground this summer and begin producing fusion power in 2028. In tonight's features story, here's footage from the announcement.
Helion has been looking for a site for a fusion power plant since about 2023. I imagine this isn't a surprise to most of the people in this room, as we've been having conversations throughout the last 2 years, and Chelan has stood out as a top option due to its long history in clean energy development. Now, after months of conversations with community leaders and exploration of sites across the county, we're ready to start a larger conversation with the Wenatchee Valley community about fusion. We're looking at developing a 50 megawatt fusion power plant on PUD-owned land near Rock Island Dam on the Chelan County side of the Columbia River. Now, this isn't an official site selection at this point, but we are at the point where we're ready to bring in more community members and have a larger conversation about this potential project. So I'm here this morning to share that we're hosting a community event on March 11th to discuss details of the potential project and answer questions from community members. The meeting will be on March 11th from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. at Mission View Elementary. We'll provide a brief presentation on Helion. We'll give an introduction to fusion. Yes, it's different from the traditional nuclear power that we all know. And we'll also highlight the impacts and benefits that a fusion power plant in Chelan County might bring.
Chelan County's role is really unique in this situation. We are not a partner for this application process. We're the permitting agency. And so we are the neutral party in this. As the permitting agency, we oversee both the building and land use applications. We will look at any application from any industry, any applicant, and we use the same set of standards in our development codes for reviewing those applications. And they may be administrative in nature, they may go to the hearing examiner, but our role is to facilitate that process in a transparent, fair, and consistent manner, keeping in mind that the development standards for Chelan County are the implementation tool for the vision of the county. So those are our adopted standards. Pre-application meetings are not required, but I have talked to Helion a couple of times, and I do look forward to, at some point, a pre-application meeting to get more information about what their proposal is. And being that we don't have a current application yet, this is still the initial stages. So we don't have anything to evaluate yet, but we look forward to working with Helion as we would with any industry or applicant that comes to our counter.
The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority, we are the lead economic development agency in the two county areas, Chelan and Douglas. One of our roles is to try to attract new jobs and new investment to come to the valley. And boy, has the two communities been on a roll, right? We are seeing absolute record investments in both Chelan and Douglas counties, primarily with data centers coming our way. And when they get fully constructed, and on the tax rolls, there will be billions of dollars of new assessed value in both Chelan and Douglas counties. So in this light of trying to attract new investment and new jobs, we're excited with Helion looking at putting in a fusion power plant in the Malaga area.
So this power plant would actually be to fulfill a power purchase agreement that Helion has. The power purchase agreement says that we will produce 50 megawatts of fusion power, and Microsoft has agreed to buy and purchase that power. For the first phase of the process, we expect to hire around 130 employees to really facilitate the construction process. When it comes to power plant operations, we expect to employ around 30 employees 24/7. I think at the community event on March 11th, we'll also go into some more details around what those types of jobs are.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast as we wind down this month of February. And what a beautiful way to end this month with a mix of clouds and some sun and some high clouds out there today. Another just picture perfect shot outside our weather window from up at beautiful Lake Wenatchee, where we did see that mix of high clouds and some sunshine today. Nice and mild temperatures, and boy, as we head into the weekend, that trend is going to continue. Maybe a little patchy valley fog in the morning tomorrow. Things will get clear out and be mostly sunny by afternoon. Once again, we're looking at high temperatures between 50 and 60 degrees. By Sunday, we'll see a few more clouds roll in. Nothing to worry about as far as precipitation, though, and we'll cool down a little bit with those clouds. We're talking highs by the end of the weekend. Pretty darn nice, between 50 and 55 degrees. All right, today's high temperature unofficially, how about that? 54 degrees, 7 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 47. Still a little shy of our beautiful record high temperature, 62, and boy, that stood for a while. 1968 the record for that. 32 this morning. 30 is our normal low, and 9 our record low temperature set in 1993. Sunrise this morning 6:42, and the sun sets for us at 5:45. Getting you into the weekend and your Saturday temperatures. How about this? 57 Moses Lake, 56 in Ephrata, mid-50s for Quincy. We'll be a little bit cooler back to the west and north of the Columbia Basin. 51 for Wenatchee. The rest of us upper 40s to about 50 degrees for our afternoon high temperatures tomorrow. Keep in mind, 47 is our normal, so we're going to stay a little bit above normal. Tonight we expect clear skies as a ridge stays up and over the Pacific Northwest. There is a little area of low pressure beginning to build off the Pacific coast. Really won't affect us tonight or tomorrow, with lows tonight in the mid-30s. For your Saturday, hello March 1st. Here's our low pressure now parking itself off the Washington coast. That could bring a few clouds into the western part of the state. Here we will be sunny and mild. High temperatures in the low 50s for tomorrow afternoon. On Sunday, an area of low pressure moves into Montana, and we could see some wraparound clouds around that area of low pressure, but we're going to stay on the mild side. Highs on Sunday again in those low 50s. Kicking off our first full week in March, we will see partly cloudy skies on Monday. Here's the top of another area of high pressure that's moving in, and it'll keep us very stable. Warm on Monday. Look at that, low to mid 50s for highs to start off our next week. By Tuesday, a couple areas of low pressure try and dig in along the west coast. That'll bring in a lot of clouds on Tuesday. Some scattered showers in the western part of the state. Our temperatures consistently stay maintain in those low 50s for Tuesday. A lot of that then moves into the Intermountain West for Idaho and parts of western Montana on Wednesday. Will be partly cloudy with highs again, generally between 50 and 55 degrees. And by the time we get into the end of the forecast on Thursday, look at that high pressure to our south, and that ridge will build up into British Columbia again. Mostly sunny skies for Thursday and warmer. Highs again in the low to mid 50s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. 35 overnight tonight. Enjoy the start of the weekend tomorrow. All kinds of sunshine and 51 degrees. A few more clouds then as we get you into Sunday and the first part of next week. Look at those highs, the low to mid 50s. And then by midweek Wednesday next week, partly cloudy and 51, mostly sunny for Thursday with a beautiful high temperature of 53 degrees. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
NCWLIFE Channel is your local TV station based right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Be sure to tune in for coverage of local sports. Once again, this spring we'll bring you prep boys soccer, baseball, and softball. In addition, we're adding Wenatchee Bighorn basketball in March, April, and May. It's all right here on the NCWLIFE channel, our Facebook and YouTube pages, as well as our website at ncwlife.com. Happy Finally Friday. The Mariners went 0 for 2 in Cactus League baseball yesterday. Seattle fell in split squad games to Texas on the road and to San Francisco at the home park in Peoria. Game 1, the Rangers shut out the Mariners 8-0. Tyler Locklear and Harry Ford were the hitting stars of the day for Seattle, each with 2 hits and 2 plate appearances. In other action, the Giants handed Seattle a 6-4 loss in Peoria later in the day. Ryan Bliss had an RBI triple for the Mariners, while Jared Sundstrom hit an RBI double. Bryce Miller had 3 strikeouts in his 1 2/3 innings of work on the mound. Seattle has an evening game tonight against the Padres at the Peoria Sports Complex. Well, if it feels like it's been a month since the Seattle Kraken played a home game, you're right. Well, sort of. It's been since February 6th that the Kraken have had a game at Climate Pledge Arena. They're back tomorrow to host the Vancouver Canucks. They'll drop the puck at 7 o'clock. That game on Kong TV. Checking the college basketball scoreboard and schedule. First, we'll start off with men's college basketball. Weber State edged Eastern Washington 66-64 last night. Washington State defended its home court with a 93-86 win over San Diego. Coming up tomorrow, Eastern hosts Idaho State at 2 o'clock on ESPN+. Washington hosts Indiana at 3 on the Peacock Network. Washington State visits Pepperdine at 7. That'll be on ESPN+. Gonzaga plays at San Francisco at 8 o'clock. That'll be on ESPN TV. In women's play last night, Washington State down Pepperdine 57-49. Weber State edged Eastern Washington 67-65. Gonzaga got by Pacific 72-56. Coming up tomorrow for the ladies at 1 o'clock, Eastern visits Idaho State. Gonzaga plays at Santa Clara at 2. Both those games are available on ESPN+. Washington hosts Oregon Sunday at 2 o'clock, and 10th rated TCU visits 17th ranked Baylor. That'll be Sunday at 3:30 on FS1. A new era of Wenatchee Bighorns basketball begins this weekend. Under new ownership, Wenatchee plays host to the Willamette Valley Jaguars tomorrow night at 7 o'clock at W.B. Smith Gym on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College. Fans arriving at 5 will be able to sample beer and wine, buy food from various vendors, and enjoy live music from Whiskey Trail. Grant Olson and Jamie Council will have the action here on NCWLIFE channel, beginning with our pregame at 6:45. Seattle Superhawks are in town Sunday for another TBL game that will start at the college at 3 o'clock. WenatcheeBighorns.com for tickets and for more information. The Wenatchee Wild begin another crucial weekend of Western Hockey League play tonight in Spokane. After tonight's game, the Wild return home for the Hockey Fights Cancer Night at the Town Toyota Center. That's Saturday night against the Tri-City Americans at 6 o'clock. Sunday is another road trip for the Wild. They'll wrap up the weekend in Vancouver. In relation to the playoffs, Wild broadcaster Austin Andrade says this weekend is size large.
This is a big one. We've got the 2 road games, and they're going to be tough ones. Spokane with the game on Friday night. We'll get their top group again. We've talked about their top 2 draft picks, Berkeley Catton and Andrew Crystal. They've got the league goal-scoring leader in Shea Van Olm. They've got a high-powered team that we were able to really play physical against, get some power play success, and really shut down the last time we were out there. 30 seconds away from getting those 2 points out there, we still ended up with the 1. But this is a group that can beat a team like Everett or Spokane. And the road game against Vancouver, they've been a little bit down here of late, but when we went up there the last time, they got some great goaltending from Burke Hood, who we saw on Sunday afternoon. I'm sure we'll see him again because, by and large, he's done a great job for them this season. They've got some great rookies like Ryan Lynn on the blue line. So this Vancouver team's a tough team. We caught them on a night where they were coming off, I think, a little bit of a low with dropping a game to Kelowna. So it was a game that I think they would like to have back, and they'll get their opportunity on Sunday. We got to be ready to shut that down and get those 2 points that we need.
You can follow Austin's call locally on radio at 560 KPQ. For tickets for Saturday's game, go to WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Well, if you're up for taking in some great playoff basketball this weekend, you needn't go further than Wenatchee High School. It begins tonight with a WIAA State 1B boys game between Acosta and Elmira Cooley Heartland at 6 o'clock. That's followed by LaSalle and Okanagan in the boys 2B tournament. That's at 8 p.m. Tomorrow's action begins at 10 a.m. with Chelan facing Tenino in the boys 1A tournament. A girls 1B game is next at noon between PL and Waterville Mansfield. Cashmere boys play La Center at 2 o'clock in the 1A tournament. Next up is at 4 in the 2B girls game between Brewster and Mount Vernon Christian at 4 o'clock. The final game is at 6 o'clock and pits Mount Vernon Christian boys against Liberty Bell. That's in the 2B tournament. All right, we'll break it down here for you for other teams. Pateros girls are at Mount Tahoma High School tomorrow afternoon to face Nia Bay. That's in the 1B tournament. That game starts at 2 o'clock. The Okanagan girls are at Central Valley High School tomorrow at 4 against Liberty in a loser-out game. The Lake Roosevelt boys are east in Cheney tomorrow for a State 2B boys game against Colfax. The winner of the game will get to the quarterfinals. Loser drops to the round of 12. Cashmere fans are having to head west to follow the Bulldogs. Ladies, as the State 1A tournament begins, Cashmere faces Bellevue Christian in Issaquah tonight. That's at 8 o'clock. Well, we mentioned Cashmere and Chelan boys at Wenatchee High School. Those games coming up tomorrow in the 1A tournament. Both games are loser-out contests for the Goats and the Bulldogs. Eastmont girls play Meade at Central Valley High School tomorrow night at 6 o'clock in the State 4A tournament. Win and move on, but if they lose, the Wildcats season is over. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Have a great weekend.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at NCWLIFE.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@NCWLIFE.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great weekend.